Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into something that's, well, it's everywhere, isn't it? This pressure on businesses about the environment.
It really is. It's unavoidable now.
Yeah, across India, you see it. Climate change, pollution, resources running low. It's not some far-off idea anymore. It's hitting manufacturing plants, IT companies, retail, daily challenges.
All right, daily operational challenges for many.
So the big question isn't if they need to deal with it, but how? How can they actually turn this pressure into maybe an advantage?
Exactly. And that's where something like ISO 14001 comes into the picture.
Okay, so that's our focus today. ISO 14001. We want to break down what it really is, look at the benefits for the company, sure, but also for employees, society,
The whole picture.
and figure out why it's becoming so crucial, especially here in India's business scene. Is it really this shortcut to, environmental excellence? Does it make a company stand out? Or is it just more paperwork?
That's the core question, yeah. Let's try and unpack it.
All right, so let's start right at the beginning, demystify it for us. What is ISO 14001?
Okay, so at its heart, ISO 14001 is an international standard. It's for what we call an environmental management system, or EMS.
The EMS, got it.
Think of it like a systematic guide, a framework. It gives organizations a clear structure for how to manage their environmental responsibilities properly.
So less guesswork, more structure.
Precisely. It's about being strategic, being proactive, instead of just reacting when something goes wrong.
Okay, a roadmap for environmental impact, basically. What are its main goals? What's it trying to achieve?
Well, there are really three core objectives. First, it helps businesses systematically figure out and control their environmental impacts.
Like emissions, waste, using resources.
Exactly. All of that. Second, it helps them make sure they're actually following the relevant laws and regulations, staying compliant.
Which is huge, I imagine.
Oh, absolutely. And third, and this is key, it drives them to continually improve their environmental performance. It's not a one-and-done thing.
Ah, so it's an ongoing process, like continuous improvement in other parts of a business.
You got it. It's a journey.
And you said it's an international standard. Does it change? Do companies have to keep up with new versions?
That's a great point. Yes, it definitely evolves. The current version is ISO 14001.2015.
Okay, 2015. What's different about this one?
This version puts a really strong emphasis on risk-based thinking,
Risk-based thinking, meaning?
meaning businesses need to look ahead, ask themselves what environmental issues could actually hurt our operations, damage our reputation, or become legal trouble later.
So thinking about potential problems before they happen.
Exactly. Identifying risks, but also opportunities related to the environment. Another big thing is leadership involvement.
Ah, so it can't just be siloed in one department?
No, it has to come from the top. It needs to be integrated right into the main business strategy, not just an environmental add-on.
Right. That integration sounds critical, because then it's not just about looking good, it's about the business itself.
Precisely. And that makes it super relevant for Indian companies competing globally, where this stuff is really under the microscope now.
Okay, so if it's part of the strategy, how does that actually translate into, real benefits for the business? Is it just cost, or is it truly strategic?
Oh, the benefits are very real.
Yeah.
And often they hit the bottom line directly. You see cost savings, for instance,
How so?
through efficiency, using less energy, cutting down on waste disposal costs, using resources more smartly.
Okay, the obvious ones.
But it goes deeper. Because the system forces you to look closely, companies often find, hidden profit centers, things they were paying to throw away. Sometimes that waste is actually valuable to someone else.
Huh. Turning waste into revenue.
It can happen. It encourages that kind of circular thinking. It's not just about being compliant. It can actually nudge you toward innovation in your processes.
That's a big shift. I remember reading about a small bakery, just a local place, and they put in a basic EMS, found out they were wasting tons of flour just because their mixers were slightly off. Tiny thing, huge savings. Does ISO 14001 help find those small leaks too?
Absolutely. That's exactly the kind of detailed review it promotes. It's not always the big smokestack. It's often lots of small inefficiencies adding up.
Makes sense. And you mentioned compliance earlier.
Yes, stronger compliance is a major benefit.
Yep.
Reduces legal risks significantly. Environmental rules in India are getting tougher all the time.
Right, staying ahead of that must be valuable. Avoiding fines, shutdowns.
Definitely. ISO 14001 helps you do that proactively.
Okay, so cost savings, better compliance. What about the market? Customers are more aware now. Does this actually give you a competitive edge? Is the investment worth it, especially for smaller companies?
It really does pay off. It may be faster than you'd think, Clients who care about the environment, they actively look for certified businesses. Sometimes it's even a requirement to get into certain supply chains.
Ah, so it can open doors.
Big time. It can make you eligible for government tenders, international contracts. It positions you as a responsible, reliable partner.
And the brand image,
Mm.
reputation.
Huge impact there, too. Builds trust with customers, investors, the local community. It seriously boosts your whole CSR, your corporate social responsibility profile. It's an investment that signals you're serious.
Okay, so clear wins for the business itself. But you also mentioned benefits for people and the planet. Let's talk employees first. How does it affect them?
Well, for employees, the impact is often quite direct. First off, a safer workplace. Less exposure to hazardous materials or processes.
That's always good.
Yeah, and you often see higher engagement. Employees get involved in the sustainability efforts. They feel part of something meaningful.
A sense of purpose, maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Plus, they often get training, develop new skills and environmental practices. That's good for them, good for the company, boosts morale, boosts competence.
That's quite compelling. But connecting those bigger societal benefits, cleaner air, water, all that, back to the company. How do businesses make that link feel real for employees, especially if they're just starting out on this?
It's about making it visible. When a company implements ISO 14001 properly, the changes are often noticeable. Maybe it's cleaner processes within the facility, or maybe it's the company talking about its reduced impact locally.
So they see the difference.
They see the difference, and they understand how their work connects to preserving resources, contributing to cleaner surroundings. When businesses align with India's broader climate goals, they become a positive force locally. That shared purpose can be really powerful for employee buy-in.
Okay, that makes sense. But implementing a whole system like this, it sounds, well, complicated. What are the usual roadblocks? Why is getting guidance so important?
Yeah, you're right. It can be complex, even though the standard itself provides a clear framework. Implementation is where the challenges pop up, especially if you try to wing it.
What kind of challenges?
Things like fully understanding the specific legal requirements for your industry in your region, creating all the documentation and making it useful, not just shelfware, training employees effectively so they actually follow the new procedures, and then getting ready for the audits, both internal and the external certification audit.
Oh, audits. Right. Sounds intense.
They can be. Rigorous preparation is key.
So if a company tries to do this all on their own, without help, what are the risks?
Well, you risk delays, definitely. You might fail the audit, which means starting over in some areas. And you can end up spending more money than necessary because you made mistakes or misunderstood requirements.
So expert guidance helps avoid those pitfalls, saves time, money, headaches.
Absolutely. It makes the whole process smoother, clearer, and much more likely to succeed efficiently. It transforms those potential hurdles into manageable steps.
Okay, let's make this concrete. Can you walk us through sort of case study,
Yeah.
a before and after?
Sure. Let's imagine a mid-sized company, maybe a textile unit near Hyderabad. We'll call them Apex Manufacturing.
Okay, Apex Manufacturing. What was their situation before ISO 14001?
Well, their energy bills were through the roof. Just running the machinery, especially dyeing processes, was eating into their profits massively. Waste disposal was chaotic.
How chaotic.
Much waste, unclear procedures, rising landfill costs. They were getting frequent attention from local environmental inspectors. Not just notices, but real threats of shutdowns hanging over them. Their reputation wasn't great.
Yikes. So high costs, legal risks, bad reputation, a real mess.
Pretty much constant operational stress.
So what happened when they decided to go for ISO 14001? What did the after look like?
The change was significant. In the first year, they managed to cut energy costs by, say, 18%. They specifically targeted their dyeing process, found ways to reduce water heating needs. That was a huge energy drain solved.
18% is substantial.
It really is. And they got fully compliant with environmental laws. Those notices, the threats, they stopped.
Peace of mind, I bet.
Huge peace of mind. But maybe the biggest win, customer trust. Because they got certified, they landed new export contracts. Buyers in Europe required that environmental certification.
Wow. So it opened up entirely new markets for them.
Exactly. Markets they couldn't even access before. It was a genuine business transformation.
That's a great example. But realistically, for every Apex success story, are there common ways this goes wrong, where implementation just doesn't deliver? And how do you avoid that?
That's a really important question. A major pitfall is treating it like just a paper exercise. Getting the certificate, but not actually changing how you operate.
Box ticking.
Exactly. If top leadership isn't truly bought in, if employees aren't trained properly or don't understand why things are changing, the system just sits on a shelf. It won't deliver results.
So how do you avoid that trap?
Good internal communication is vital, making sure everyone understands their part. And like we said, getting good guidance to tailor the system to your actual business, not just using a generic template. Genuine commitment, basically.
Right, it has to be embedded. Okay, so zooming back out a bit, how does ISO 14001 fit specifically within the Indian context, and why is it becoming this global thing?
Well, in India, getting certified lines up really well with national goals and policies around the environment. It can definitely give companies a leg up in initiatives like Make in India or Green India, which often favor businesses showing strong environmental commitment.
So it aligns with national priorities.
Yeah.
And globally.
Globally, the trend is undeniable. More and more big companies are demanding that their suppliers, everyone in their chain, have environmental certifications like ISO 14001.
So it's becoming a requirement for doing business internationally.
Increasingly, yes. It's moving from nice to have to need to have if you want international credibility, especially for exporters. It's like a green passport for global trade.
A green passport. I like that. Okay, so if a business owner is listening right now thinking about this, what are the practicalities? How long does it usually take? Is it actually mandatory in India?
Good questions. Time frame? It varies, of course. Depends on how ready the company is, what systems they already have. But typically, you might be looking at somewhere between, say, 3 to 6 months for implementation and getting certified.
3 to 6 months. Okay.
Yeah.
And mandatory?
No, it's not legally mandatory across the board in India, but it's very highly recommended for compliance reasons, for winning contracts,
Yeah.
and just for long-term sustainability and market position.
Got it. Recommended, not required by law generally. What about size? Is this only for big corporations, or can small businesses realistically do this?
That's a common concern, but the great thing about ISO 14001 is that it's designed to be scalable.
Scalable.
Yeah, adaptable. It can be tailored to fit any size business, any industry, a huge factory or a small workshop. The standard focuses on what's relevant to your environmental impacts. So yes, absolutely accessible and beneficial for small businesses too. It helps them compete.
That's really good to know. Accessible for everyone.
So really what this all boils down to for you if you're in business in India is that ISO 14001 isn't just about ticking an environmental box. It's actually a powerful strategy for growth.
Growth.
Yes, because it delivers real, tangible benefits for the business financials, for your employees, and for the wider community and environment. It's a win-win-win.
A powerful growth strategy. That's a great way to put it. Okay, as we wrap up this deep dive, here's something to chew on. If you think about all these connected benefits, saving money, gaining an edge, being better for society, what if most businesses voluntarily adopted standards like this, seriously adopted them? How could that fundamentally change what we even mean by a successful business in the 21st century? What could the ripple effects be beyond just the environment on our economy, on global supply chains?
It's a big question.
Definitely something to think about. Until next time on The Deep Dive.